So finally broke down, got a new air compressor from Tractor Supply. They're always just as friendly as ever, no matter what your purchase is. And if you can't tell, I'm being sarcastic. So let's open this sucker up and see if it's going back. Everything will be happy. And it's mixed with online from people about them missing parts and all that good stuff. Alright, so let's unsheath this thing. See what $219 in tax bought. Oh yeah, just to prove where I got this stuff from. There we go, that's my order number and all that good stuff. So, bought it in Erwin, Tennessee. Well, bought it online, but picked it up that one. So, first thing, the styrofoam has been busted there on the top. Let me connect this thing right here. My reason for selecting this thing size that I was looking for, this is the only one I've been able to find that was an oil compressor and not an oil. It's the last one. I ain't tank cars, so I don't care about oil getting sprayed into my tools. That's fine with me. More lube the better, I reckon. So I don't see anything broke on it. Over here on the side where the styrofoam was compromised, thankfully there wasn't nothing sticking up over there for it to get hurt. So, there's the lube, there's the plug. Wow, that's a beefy cord they got on that thing. Press. Man. Right here we got some free toilet paper. I think that's the filter. Oh yeah, I know it is. Yeah. There's the filter on it. I guess it's got a cap on it. I have always bought used air compressors, so this is my very first brand new air compressor that wasn't a small one anyway. Okay, so that's how that works. What I don't quite understand is, how does this suck air? I mean, it's just solid. And then when you cover it up, how's it going to get any air through that? Hope so. Yeah, it's about 4 feet tall. So I'm going to add the oil in there. I believe the entire bottle it came with, how much it requires to be put in there. Lots of people were saying it didn't mention anything about a break-in and instructions. I'm going to go ahead and break it in and open the valve plug, the drain valve on the bottom there, and fill it up with oil. Run it for 30 minutes without letting it build any pressure, and then I'm going to change the oil out of it. So I'm going to let it warm up a little bit out here before I do the running process, because it is, I don't know, low 40s, high 30s out here right now. But I'll bring you back after I fire it up. Alright, so I got the oil filled up there. You can see it in the window there. It just kind of looked like that right there was molded in the plastic, because it doesn't like slosh around that well. But I tipped it over, and yeah, you can see the oil level. So I've opened up the relief valve in the tank already, and some air came out, so I guess that's a good sign. So let's go ahead and plug this sucker in, let it run for 30 minutes. Here goes something. I'm used to just plugging it in and going without a switch. So let's turn it on. Alright, so I ran it for 30 minutes, and on the bottle of oil it says that it's got a non-foaming agent in it, but golly goodness, I mean, look at that, it's foamed up. Well, I'm going to go get me some name brand lube for this thing, and I'm going to go ahead and take this out and tip it over and drain the lube out of it. There isn't a drain plug or anything like that. That is the drain plugs, this glass side here. So I'll tip it over and dump that stuff out and go find me some good lube that hopefully won't do that. Because foam definitely inhibits the ability for that lubricant to hold on to parts and do its job. So you definitely don't want to leave that in there. But who would expect them to send a quality lubricant anyway, right? So there's the model number, PXCML224VW.01. 150 psi, 1.5 horse motor. It's got 50% duty cycle, so it means for every hour you're using it, don't run it more than 30 minutes continuously, or life will be diminished. Oh, and I was saying about, I don't understand how this works. Well, after listening and watching it run, it's got little slits in the sides that it sucks air through, so that's how this actually works. I think I might cut and modify this just a little bit, because that just don't seem very sufficient to me to draw enough air. So anyway, I'm gonna get it lubed up and get this thing into production. I'll also shoot a video showing how long it takes to fill up the air tank once I've got more lube to put in this thing. There's the little gauges it comes with. That one right there shows you tank pressure, and this one right here shows you the regulated pressure. And daisy chain it with this other tank I got for free on Craigslist. I'm working on putting some fittings on it right now, so I'm going to run a hose to it. It'll be the go-between, because that right there is going to sit over here in the building and run. And it won't get me a long hose to hook them up. May just use some air brake line off that bus over there I'm cutting apart. Alright, so I've done the break-in process, and I've put USA 30 weight, straight 30 non-detergent oil in there. So now it's time to fire it up. Let's see how long it takes it to fill this thing up. And here we go. it shut off just a hair before 150, maybe 145. But I don't hear any air leaking. So that's nice. Let's turn up the regulator. See if anything there's leaking. So lots of people complaining about that leaking. Okay, on the leak, I mean, I don't hear anything. So let's check the relief valve. You always want to check this every day and make sure it works. Yeah, that's working. So yeah, when you ran the tank down to about 120 psi, that's when it kicks back on like the book says. Yeah, I can't hear any air leaking or nothing. So we'll watch it for a little while to see if it leaks down. I'll definitely make sure it's full tonight and see what happens in the morning when I come to check on it. And I'll definitely include that in this video. So here we are 2 days later, and I don't want to put it upside down, but looks like I'm about at 140, 142 psi, something like that. So it's leaked down maybe like 5 or 7 psi in 2 days, not 1 day. So I'm gonna have to say that this thing came to me pretty leak free. Yeah.
And as always, I want to praise my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. May He richly bless and guide you all. And if you'd like to learn more about the Lord and Savior, who He is, and how salvation works, then check out my website at sharingthetruthinlove.com and click on the Salvation tab at the top. There's also a tab up there so you can read the good old King James Bible. There's no other Bible in the English language that has the perfect, pure word of the Lord.